Hey, Aidan here, co-founder of Parallel Profits. In this video, you're going to find out about Super Sunday. I'm going to take you over to my command center in just a few seconds here. And once we've spoken about that, I'm going to talk about the 4 secrets that you can see behind me here. These are things that have helped us build 6 multi-million-dollar businesses over the past few years. So let's head to the command center and I'll tell you about Super Sunday. So Super Sunday, what's it all about? Firstly, it's about education, and secondly, it's about entertainment. And behind me here, you can see I'm going to be broadcasting out of this machine. I'm going to be watching comments flying in on this machine and monitoring everything else on this machine. So this is like my little command center. We did this last year and had tens of thousands, I think it was like 35,000 people joined us live to watch it. So it should be a lot of fun. Entertainment-wise, we're going to be giving away $10 per minute. It's going to be a marathon session, probably running for about 3 hours, and it starts at 12 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. We're going to be giving you lots of insights into the Parallel Profits business model. We're going to be getting one of our students on to talk about how he made over $40,000 in January, and he's on track to do over $500,000 this year, and that's at about 80% net profit margin, so really, really good money. We'll be dissecting some of our sales. Like, we made a $25,000 sale recently, which is about $20,000 in profit. And you'll see why these kind of sales are not anomalies or outliers. They're things that we can replicate over and over again. We'll explain how we do that. You'll have the chance to ask us anything. As I mentioned, cash prizes will be given away to the tune of $10 per minute, and actually much more than that. It'll be thousands and thousands of dollars that we're giving away, and it happens here on this page at 12 p.m. on Sunday. Now, the second thing that I want to do here today is actually give you some tips, some of the secrets that have helped me build not 1, but 6 multi-million-dollar businesses over the past decade or so. So I've got the 4 secrets here. I'm going to work through them right now, and then we'll wrap all this video up. So the first is problem. Now, if you can identify a big problem, and the bigger the problem, the better, then you're going to be able to make money online so much easier. And I discovered this really in my first business, which was in 2005. I had just come to Buenos Aires. I didn't have much savings in the bank. I couldn't speak Spanish. I was on a tourist visa. I had to figure out how I was going to make it work down here. And the reason I was in Buenos Aires is because my wife is from here, and I was trying to figure out how I could make all this work so I could stay here, because the alternative was to go back to New Zealand, and I really didn't want to do that. So anyway, getting to the story, what I did was I was able to build an income by helping local tango restaurants, tango schools, and tango shows. And the way that I was helping them was by providing some simple online services. Now, these things have changed a little bit over the years, but the principle is still the same. They needed to get more visitors, more tourists, especially coming in the door, and they didn't really know how to do it. But I did know how to do it. I didn't know that much, but I knew enough to be able to provide some value, and I would sell that service to them. So that was the very first thing that I did in 2005 online, and it made me money from the get-go and allowed me to actually end up staying and living here in Buenos Aires. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that I want to share is the math of a million, and this is something that a lot of people forget about. Firstly, when people think millionaire, they think, wow, you made $1 million. But what really matters, and what I consider to be a millionaire, is someone who's got millions of dollars in profit coming in every single year. And being a millionaire in 2019 is probably more accessible than it's ever been, which is great news for you. But it's only accessible if you know the secret that I'm about to give you, and that is that the math of making $1 million needs to work out. It's based on profit, and the thing that's going to stack the odds in your favor is the dollars that you get per sale that you make. Now, to make $1 million profit on Amazon, and let's assume you're making $10 profit per product that you sell, you would have to sell 100,000 units. And we do millions and millions on Amazon every single year. I'm not knocking the business model, I'm just using that to make an example. We love Amazon. But 100,000 sales to make $1 million, that's not easy for anyone to do. So one thing that I did very early on when I started online, this was in about 2007, 2008, I started an e-commerce dropship store, which is, if you saw it now, you would think it looked prehistoric. But instead of focusing on items that were like $50 or $60, I was selling barber chairs. Okay, these were these big, giant, heavy barber chairs, and they sold for like $900, $1,500, and I was netting about $500 profit per sale. So I didn't need many sales. And if I could get just one sale a day, that was going to be some pretty decent income. You know, I'll be looking at $500, $600 a day from just one sale versus needing to get 50 or 60 or 70 sales per day of something that would just throw off a $10 profit. So the point there is look for bigger profits. They are bigger profits per sale. That's one of the real big secrets about making more money and having more success, and it certainly helped me over the years. My first business that I mentioned, that was quite big profit per sale, what I was doing with the tango restaurants, schools and tango shows, and then the other example I gave you of the barber chairs. Now, the third one is sexy, and in fact not sexy. Sexy can be bad sometimes. Sustainable. You don't need to focus on anything that's going to be a flash in the pan. That's bad. Loophole, bad. Reliance on one platform or system, bad. And by those I mean, Facebook can shut down your account overnight. Amazon can throttle your account or shut it down literally overnight. So I don't like to put, and Steve either, we don't like to put all our eggs in one basket. We don't like to have that reliance. And you could say that diversification is one way to solve that, and that's absolutely true. But if you can find a business model that you can succeed with without needing to rely on Facebook, Google, Amazon, or any of those things, then that's going to be much, much more sustainable in the long term. It's going to mean you don't have reliance on any one source of traffic. And if we add to that, if we take that one step further, if it's sustainable and also predictable. So a lot of the things that you could sell online oftentimes are sexy. Like you could design a really cool camera carry case or something, and you could sell it on Amazon. That's a sexy product, but it's going to be much, much, much harder than just selling something which is a sustainable product that you can get money coming in for week after week after week, month after month after month for years to come. And you may have seen on one of the workshops that we've held this week, I actually told a story about a limousine company who have been paying us for 8 years, every single month for 8 years, to the tune, I think they pay like $400, $500 a month for 8 years. If you do the math on that, that's making one sale one time that recurs, and it's just a game changer. And then the final one here is, and this one might surprise you a little bit, but it needs to be enjoyable, okay? You need to be able to have a balance, otherwise you will burn out, and burnout sucks. I've experienced it myself. One of the best ways to make it enjoyable is by getting profits and getting them fast. When you start making profits, you could sell anything and it could almost be fun, okay? But to truly make it enjoyable in the long term, it needs to be a freedom business, so something that you can step away from. And this is something that we've done in the businesses we've built over the years. We put a CEO in place, we put a team in place, and then we can step away and be more like a director and just take the profits off the table without having to do any of the heavy lifting. Now, the next best thing to that, before you sort of completely step away, is to at least step away from the heavy lifting, okay? So look for a way, and what we've been talking about with Parallel Profits solves this. Look for a way where you can take the really time-consuming, laborious, tedious work off your plate and make sure that someone else can do it. Now, the final thing that I want to leave you with today is that the dream of having an online business, that's real. I mean, we've seen thousands and thousands of people succeed with this and build their businesses throughout our programs over the past decade. And it's not about talent. That's one big misconception, especially in the business model that we've been talking about over the past week, the Parallel Profits model. It's not about talent or ability. Some of the other models are a little bit more about that. Like if you want to really succeed with Facebook, then you're going to have to be talented. It's a bit of an art to making Facebook ads. But what we're talking about in the Parallel Profits model is more about the process. And that's good news, because that means that anyone can do it. Now, if you've tried and failed in the past, it doesn't mean you should give up, because like I say, the dream is alive and real, and people are succeeding with this all the time. Give yourself a chance to hit the reset button, and I would encourage you to do something different. Don't be insane, okay? And by that, I'm referring to Einstein's famous quote, which goes along the lines of, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. If you want to get different results in 2019, then do something different to what you've done in the past. Try something new. break out from the mold, and maybe go outside your comfort zone a little bit, because that's where the magic happens. And if you haven't cracked the code, just try something new. And what we've got for you, I know, can be that new thing, because it's radically different to anything that I think you would have ever seen before. So what you can do right now is download the cliff notes that you can see below this video, and just make sure you come back to this page at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 12 p.m. New York time on Sunday, and we're going to be diving into the live stream broadcast. There's going to be tens of thousands of people, most likely, throughout the course of the broadcast, and we've got a ton of cash, a ton of entertainment and education for you. So I think it's going to be well worth you joining us. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on Sunday at midday Eastern Time.